Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is going to be an open reading. So let's see what Spirit has for us today. Pile number 1, we have Leo, Taurus, Pisces, and Aquarius. Your card is the 6 of Staves. For pile number 2, we have Libra, Virgo, Scorpio, and Aries. Your card is the Prince of Discs, or the Prince of Pentacles. In this case, it's the King of Pentacles. So pile number 3, we have Sagittarius, Gemini, Cancer, and Capricorn. Your card is the Moon. Okay. So I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the deck, the card, the zodiac sign, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the 6 of Staves. 6 of Staves is about the recognition of your presence, your success, a victory, celebration of success. Very positive. Okay, so what do we have for pile number 1? We have Lady of the Harvest. Harvesting success. List of the Shadows. And the Bodacious Boda. Okay. So maybe I will. Yeah. Okay, that's better. So what else do we have for pile number 1 in this open reading? I think that's enough. We have work, occupation. And gloomy thoughts. So I do think that this is related to your work, your career, or some project that you have in mind at the moment. I feel like there's something maybe stopping you from celebrating, and it's really clear, like from the start, what it is. It's just self-sabotage and overthinking something, and possibly it's about something that you carry with you, like a perception that you have about life or about yourself, about what you deserve, that is distorting the possibility to receive the acknowledgement and the recognition for your work. But let's see if there's something else. It seems pretty obvious and straightforward, but what is this about for pile number 1? No. We have Jupiter in Pisces with seduction. Moon in Scorpio with power. Moon in Taurus with exaltation. Moon in Aries with protection. Mars in Sagittarius with domination, and Mars in Gemini with decision. Okay. I feel like there might be something more to your success than what meets the eye, or you may realize that your success may, it's not interfere, but your success means something else, or something extra. There's something extra that comes from your success, something that you're not aware of. And it might be that you wanted to keep this at bay because you consider this negative, but it needs to be integrated into your success, because Lady of the Harvest is about harvesting the good and the bad. So whatever we have planted and sowed and tended to, whatever we nurtured, is giving fruits, is, producing something in your life, is having a reflection, is having an effect. And it turns out that there might have been something else that the way that you have done things has triggered a process that you weren't completely aware of, or that you thought wasn't supposed to be included. There was something that was not supposed to be a part of what you were doing, but that you are now considering, or that you may be confronted with the necessity of including that into your decision making, into your reasoning, and into the way you work. Maybe you need to change the method. So it doesn't matter what you are doing, what you are using your skills for. I do think that this means that you have to add an extra ingredient that you were maybe kind of refusing to, or didn't think it was necessary to. It's something that you were possibly like repressing or silencing, trying to protect yourself from that also. Like that doesn't make me feel good, so I don't think I need to do that. I don't think I need to go there. But there's something there. There's something in the uncomfortable parts that needs to be a part of your harvest. And it's also how you will get recognition for what you do, and how you will okay, so this is also about you recognizing a part of yourself. And recognizing a part of yourself, it's going to transform how you see the outside, because the outside is many times a reflection of of our inner landscape. Six of Pentacles, Ace of Staves, Nine of Staves, and we have Freya with power, and this is the Emperor card. So that's it. That's about observing and understanding and harnessing the power of even the darker aspects of what you are doing, whatever it may be. There might be some uncomfortable or unpleasant realities to your work environment or to your to the successful use of your skills. So there might be things that you don't like, you don't enjoy doing, but they will trouble you if you don't address them. I feel like you have to increase your awareness of the processes that you are developing, the guidelines, the rationale behind your actions. You need to be more aware. And if you're more aware of things, you're more responsible. And if you're more responsible, people will also look up to you for guidance. And that will mean you will also harvest more for yourself. That doesn't mean that you are going to kind of hoard, hoarding resources or something like that. Not at all, because Six of Pentacles it's about generosity. So it's also about you being generous with your resources so that people consider you like a solid authority and someone who is very consistent and someone who is responsible, because you're more aware and you're more conscious of things that other people might also underestimate or not like. And that's part of your success, is using the power of your responsibility, the power to deal with the consequences, even, the unpleasant ones. The Moon with Diana. And the Six of Swords. I do feel like it also has something to do with keeping the energy moving, even when there might be some anxiety or fears or doubts. Or even you like questioning the goodness of things, questioning the goodness of things. That's interesting. I feel like it doesn't matter. It just matters that you're generous with your awareness and that you're conscious of what you're doing and that you might be held responsible for your words, for your actions. So the more you can sustain this, the more you can understand, the better. The more you can embrace, it means like the more you can protect and the more you can make grow also. Nine of Swords. And the King of Cups. Okay, so now this shifted more towards the emotional dimension of this. So how this impacts people emotionally, and I do feel like it's a collective thing, although we all are like little processing machines that affect the collective machine. And this is just a metaphor. We are so much more, but it's just there are mechanisms in the collective that are processed, that are better understood when they're when you find a personal example. So for instance, if you wanted to understand a collective psychological reality, it would be best to start with a personal example, with a personal story. And I do feel like your personal story is going to help other people. And that's also how you appear to be successful and appear to be in control, not in the negative way, like repressing or something, but more. There is a sometimes a very thin line that divides control from repression or oppression. And control can be something good, right? It means that we mediate the realities, that we understand where one thing transforms into the other, and we change accordingly. We adapt to that change. So we are in the flow, and that's also a sort of control, right? As much as we can. But that's a part of your awareness. This is a lot about your awareness, the capacity to be aware, self-aware, to be aware of your own feelings and how you process reality, how you process fears, because I do feel like there's a lot of fear in the collective, and there's an aspect here that you can change. That's interesting. It's like your decisions will also impact this group. So the way you process your emotions will also help other people process their own emotions. It is a bit like the mirroring effect, but it's so much more than that. It's I would say it's more like a dialogue, because the mirror sometimes doesn't really reflect us completely, or the mirrors sometimes are a bit dirty. Let's say they're not completely transparent. So the mirror is a good metaphor, but for this case, I would say that you should be more focused on how your inner reality affects the outer, and less about what is happening around you. And if you are being triggered by what is happening around you, if there are fears and anxieties, and if there's uncertainty and this sense of danger, like impending danger and doom, I would try to focus more on what is it in you that relates to that feeling, and what is it in your personal experience that relates to that feeling, and not so much what is happening around you. And that's how you establish an energy that I think people will love, that will bring you a lot of success. It will bring you a lot of abundance, and also transform your state of mind, transform your mindset so much. It will give you power to move forward, and to also contain the fears and anxieties, or the negative aspects, in a way that they're recognized, you're aware of them, you know them, you have a dialogue with that energy, but you're not affected by it in a way that is paralyzing, or that is stifling, and also that transforms you into someone who is possibly like hard to be around, or overbearing. It transforms your inner reality so much that you start to attract people who want to be led by a different energy. People don't want to live with fear and anxiety and constant, negativity in their mind. So as much as we can, transform those with our experience, with our personal power, we can help the collective. And we are also setting ourselves up for success in everything we do. Beautiful, very inspiring. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is the King of Pentacles. And this card is about material possessions, material creation, let's say. You have nature represented in this card in the form of seeds and plants and vegetation, but you also have the animal that's pulling the car, and this sphere and the geometry. It symbolizes the awareness of the material, the understanding of the material, the complete dominion, control, understanding, and the harnessing of that power. It's also about consistency and discipline. Okay, let's see. So, what do we have for pile number 2 today? So we have the loam and the bodacious Buddha. Sorry about that. Interesting. Also came out in pile number 1. A little child. Short illness. And bereavement. Okay, so this seems like a bit of a complicated situation, but let's see. Okay, we have Saturn in Pisces with loss. Mercury in Cancer with intuition. Sun in Virgo with health. Mercury in Libra with influence. And Venus in Taurus with romance. This is really interesting. I feel like it's almost, there's a sort of psychological reversal. Or like reverting back to factory settings is what I was thinking. Back to basics. Going back to the basics. The Magician. Ace of Pentacles. And the Page of Swords. The King of Cups. King of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. I feel like I'm going back to a different time. That's so strange. It's like what I'm seeing here, and it doesn't have to do with the cards. It's the story that's unfolding in my mind. It's someone who is imagining like they have lost the last years and they're going back to factory settings. To the default. Or it's doing something that you haven't done for a long, long time. But I don't know. It's the energy of kind of missing a chance, but not. It's like losing an opportunity to choose another path. And it's a path that makes you go back in time. It changes the past. Ten of Wands. Nine of Cups. Happiness. Six of Pentacles. Success. Then the Hierophant. So for some of you, it's like going back to school, finishing high school, you know, something like that, like, or going back to college, going back to work. It does seem like it's something to do with work, with career. Maybe for the last few years, you've been working in a specific area, and you're now going back to what you did before. And it's something it's more pleasant for you, although it might mean that you don't earn as much, but it's better. It's something that's more, it flows better for you, and it's also something that you're very experienced in doing. It seems like you are a master at that. It pays less. It seems like it pays less, or it means that you have to make certain sacrifices, like changes in your financial life, in your investments, in how you spend. Maybe you need to spend a little bit before you start earning, or you just earn less and you need to adjust to that. But it's better for your health, it's better for your soul, it's better for your heart. It makes you feel like a child again. The Four of Wands. And the Nine of Swords. Wow. The Three of Wands. And the Tower. Wow. I feel like it will mean a total restructuring of your life. It's going to feel like everything is turned upside down, but it is the end of a kind of a turbulent period. It means that you need to recalibrate completely everything. I feel like you're doing this also because there might be some outside influence to this, like you might be adjusting to a change, in the economy and law and, any piece of legislation that affects you, or something that is changing in the landscape, in the environment around you. It might feel like you need to adjust your expectations also. But I do feel like if you follow the thread of love, and the loam is about unconditional giving and receiving, so it's really letting your heart guide you in this case, and making a smart decision means that you are going to take care of yourself, to take care of your heart, take care of your soul. It's a soulful choice, and it's the right way, because you're adjusting to a new reality. You're adjusting to what the future holds, and you're also changing a pattern that has been going on for quite some time, and it might seem hard. It might seem like it's a personal effort. It requires the use of will, the use of willpower. There might be forces that are not targeted at you specifically, but affecting this and making it harder or making it confusing. But those structures will fall. So you're correct, because you're already living in a reality that's coming. You're adjusting to that. And you are living in a way that is more well adapted to the reality that is a reality that is changing. Okay, so the Seven of Cups. And the Two of Cups. Choosing from the heart. So it's like, if you have nothing else to inform your choices at the moment, choose from your heart. Even if it's a choice that's related to finance or something that is more material, don't forget to inform and to embed your soul into the material at this moment. I do feel like that's the path forward. It might mean a certain restriction in finances, but it's a short transition into a new timeline. There's a new life that's coming. And for that to happen, some material benefits might have you might have to let them go. But it's a transition. And it's a part of a great change that's happening around you. And I also feel like if you don't make this choice, you'll be constantly annoyed and you'll be constantly frustrated with something, and you might even not be aware of what it is, or you might see the effects, like things breaking down. Maybe you have like an issue with your car, and you have this expensive repair, something, kind of chaotic, and it seems like it's accidental, but in reality it's because you're trying to push through a situation with maintaining a certain shape that's not well adapted to fit in the new pathway. So you have to morph, and you have to maybe revert to something that you did before and that you really loved. You really need to keep that flow of love with what you do. If you don't, it's going to get bumpy. That's how I feel. And it might seem like the bumpy road is actually that you love, that road that leads to doing things that you really love. But actually, in the long term, the bumpy road is the one that doesn't give you that, because it hurts your heart. And you're not allowed to create, and you have to be allowed to give from your heart in whatever you're doing, even if it means like you have to be a little bit tight financially, a little bit more restricted, but you will just shift your focus to something else, and it will open up your heart to other things. And I do feel like you're really good at doing this already. So there's some sort of skill, or some sort of, it might even be like a job that you did in the past that you really enjoyed. And it seems like it's not a sensible, rational choice at the moment to do that again. But I do feel like it's going to help you long term. So making the right choice and choosing from the heart, choosing to do the thing that you love to do. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is the moon. And the moon is about what is subconscious, what is hidden. It can be many things, and it's also about the deeper parts of ourselves. Sometimes it's also about the mind, how our mind works. Let's see. What do we have for pile number 3? Okay, now we start with the fairies. So we have ecstasies and The green woman. Good lady. She's kind of the green woman also. That's interesting. The green woman. Rich, good gentleman. And main person. So you may be dealing with a group of people or specific people in your life right now. They seem like they're beneficial energies, that they're helpful, resourceful. They want to share their resources with you and help you. They like you. They want to protect you with their wisdom. Moon in Virgo with order. Moon in Gemini with adaptability. There's a lot of moon energy. Sun in Virgo with health. Saturn in Leo with generosity. Venus in Cancer with birth. And Sun in Gemini with versatility. I'm also hearing like you have a lot to give, like there's an abundance of resources. They might be inner resources, not exactly material ones, but it's like your attention, and there's a certain, it's like a special quality to your attention. It's a gift. It's like sharing gifts, sharing your gifts. And also creating something with those gifts. And the connections between people and you and specific people at the moment, they're really like a powerhouse. There's so much that you're not seeing. And I don't think that the moon in this case is about negative energies. That's sometimes the case. But in this case, I feel like there's so much that you don't know about the people around you. There's a lot that is hidden. And I feel like they're ecstatic to be around you. They seem to be really happy with you. It's such a positive reading, at least until now. The Four of Pentacles. They're both playing chess. Okay. The Queen of Wands. So that's why I'm saying it's it's interesting that she has a salamander and he has also a reptile. It seems like an iguana, something like that. And playing chess. So like playing, relating, playing. There's a lot of intelligent interaction here also. And it is about it's creating something else. So it's like your connections are birthing something else. They are creating something. We have the Star. And the Three of Pentacles. So that's what I was saying. I think you're creating something with the help of other people. And I feel like you're equal. They're not, it's a really good collaboration, like face to face, eye to eye. And I feel like you're helping each other make your dreams come true. It's a really creative collaboration, healthy. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to understand. There's a lot to discover. I feel like there's also this kind of like a discover, a pioneer, someone who is finding new ways to do things. It's not as much as like trying to be just different and original. It's just you're like exploring things that haven't been explored. Because you're powered by good relationships. So you have people with you that can collaborate with you in a way that's really helpful. Maybe we need to know more about who they are. And okay, Seven of Swords. That feeling that there's a lot more, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to know. Maybe this reading is coming to you so that you learn more about who you're collaborating with, not because you're being deceived or you're being misled, but because there's a treasure there. There's something there that's not spoken, not clear, but it's like a hidden treasure, and it's a treasure that's in someone. Four of Wands. And the Nine of Cups. It's like sunken treasure inside someone's heart. Maybe someone is hiding their feelings from you, but they're really good and positive. Like I feel like there's a lot of passion around you, but it's all good. I don't sense anything pathological or worrisome, and it's so interesting. So what? Judgment. Nine of Swords and the Emperor. So I feel like there's going to be a revelation of sorts. Someone is going to expose a situation or expose their feelings or how they think. They're really like their opinion, or you are also going to be upfront about something or reveal something, and it seems like it's going to, I feel like it's going to trigger some negative thoughts, but I feel like this reading is coming to you so that you know that it's all good. It's nothing to worry about. There's no problem. It's all in, the mind. It's just creating problems that are not there, and they will disappear really quickly if you want them to, if you allow them to. But it's like, it's your decision. It's your decision if you want to keep those or not. The Chariot, it's your decision. It's up to you. It's your energy. It's your will that will prevail. So there's nothing to worry about. So I feel like you're also going to be really happy because you'll be working on something that is truly transcendent for you, that is creating a new reality. Maybe it's something related to your spirituality, your specific path, and maybe you share something in common with the people that you're working with, and that is related to your spiritual path. I do feel like it's like giving birth to an ideal situation together with people who are like-minded, but more importantly, they are like-hearted. They feel like you. They have the same creative impulse. It's not a rational, like planned, very strategic thing. Although you do have Rich Good Gentleman and the Four of Pentacles here, both of them playing chess. And there is that dimension that's also able to progress with your soulful connection. And that is the strategy in like how to apply this. Like, how are we going to manifest this? How are we going to work on this? Where is this taking us? But I do feel like very soon, you're going to have a revelation about the truth, the underlying truth that's there. Maybe it's the intention of someone, but it feels like it's loving. It feels like it's up to you. Your free will never be affected by any of this. You're not, it feels so nice. It feels like it's an ideal situation. If you just don't give into the negative. Don't give into the overthinking. And that might mean that you will change your mind about something. I think you'll change your mind about something. Or you might also be the one who changes other people's minds, because you do have the Emperor. It's very stable, very authoritative, and solid. Maybe if you're faced with doubt or frustration related to something that's affecting this relationship or this creative process, I would say that the safe option would be for stability and for order. So the mind, if the mind tends to see the negative, if you try to shift it more towards seeing the order, the logic, the consistent, what repeats, what is the pattern, to seeing the patterns. So if you use the mind, if it is affected by negative thoughts, to see patterns, but to see the patterns that create order, it will be I think it will be the path forward, and also the way to keep the passion, to keep the love, to keep the successful connections and the collaboration to flow, for the collaboration to flow, for the interaction to be productive, to keep the options, to keep the options open, and to not stifle. It's not stifling. This kind of thinking of order and consistency doesn't need to be suffocating. Routine can also be good. It can be healthy. In this specific case, I would say so. Because the natural state of things is creative, is already creative. So that's the part that you don't need to force, and you don't need to be, too in control of. But there's another aspect here that I feel like is connected to the people around you, that needs consistency, that needs order, that needs certain kinds of patterns and repetitions so that things grow. And there might be some sort of revelation about that. But I also feel like there's so much love here. So it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.